home of the stars, through the airwaves and on the big screen. Coming to you live from Hollywood, it's Rated G Radio with your host, Garrett Miller. Hey everybody, welcome back to a great new week of Rated G Radio. The rain is starting to fall here in Huntington Beach, so wherever you are at in this corner of the world today or tonight or tomorrow, whenever you're listening, I want to thank you for tuning in and hope that you are safe and sound as your week begins. Tonight we have Dr. Annie Ullrich. She'll be on to share her energy update for November. She's also going to be taking your calls live. We've got a bunch of you already pre-screened. If I pre-screened your calls, hang tight because we are going to get to you tonight. So you get to talk to Dr. Annie. And if you have not talked to her before, now is a great time to call in at 323-657-1493 and ask a question tonight. And trust me, she's one of the most delightful people in the world that you could ever hope to talk to, and tonight would be a perfect night for you to call in. You can also ask a question in the Blog Talk chat room. I do need your first name and your full birthday. That means month, day, year. And you can ask your question of Dr. Annie after she gives us her energy update. Now, here's a little preview for what's happening the rest of this week, so you can set your calendars. Of course, you can just follow the program right there on your computer screen. Just click the follow button, and you can get an email or text, your pick, you choose, and it will give you a link to every night's broadcast, including tomorrow night. We have author Ara Gregorian, and I love his name. I want to talk to this man about his writing career because he came into his writing career later in life, not late in life because he's not dead, but later in life, and had a fascinating career before deciding that he wanted to become a novelist. And he's got a book called Game of Love that I'm right in the middle of, and I hated to put it down today, but I said, I've got to prepare for the impending flood that's coming tonight. I've got to get ready for Dr. Annie, and I've got to feed the puppies and all that kind of stuff. So after the show tonight, I'm going to continue reading his novel, Game of Love, and we're going to talk to him tomorrow, that's Tuesday, with Ara Gregorian. On Wednesday, and when I do authors back-to-back, I think I must have lost my mind, but I've lost my mind this week because we have Walter Newkirk joining the show on Wednesday's show, and he wrote a book about gray gardens, and so I've got to read his book on Wednesday during the day, and we're going to talk to him. He's won some awards. He's sold tons of copies of this, so I have not talked to Walter live and in Technicolor before, but I'm very excited to have him on the show and to hear what his stories are all about, and that's Wednesday's show with Walter Newkirk. Thursday, we have actor. I think he's more than an actor, though. I think he's also like a producer, a director, a screenwriter, because in Hollywood, I guess if you do one, you pretty much do a bunch of things. But Leon Acord is joining the show to promote the web series called Old Dog, New Tricks, and they're entering their 4th season of a web series right now of Old Dogs, New Tricks. I also think it's the last season, so Leon's going to come on and talk about that experience and what it's like to make independent television. Very, very cool. I will love that. Bruce Hart, who's been on the show before. You'll know that name. He's been in Old Dogs, New Tricks, but he's been on tons of different TV shows over the years and movies. He's been on the show, but he's also part of the Old Dogs, New Tricks. So Leon Acord will be our guest Thursday. And then Friday, a band you're going to totally flip out over called Project Grand Slam. They'll be on the show with us for the Friday night dance party in Hour 1. Of course, Hour 1 is always the band. It's behind the scenes with the music, behind the music, who play their music, hear their stories. But then in Hour 2, it kicks into your requests. So that's kind of a preview for your week here on Rated G Radio. And, of course, if you like the show, make sure to tell your family and friends to tune in and share it and all that good stuff. So hi to everybody I see in the Blog Talk chat room. Quick reminder, if you'd like to call in tonight, tonight is the night to do it. We've got openings in the phone lines, 323-657-1493. If you call in, though, you have to press 1, because everybody who's not pressing 1 right now, I'm just assuming that you're calling in to listen on your phone, as one tends to do if you're not listening on the Internet. So press 1 if you want to ask a question. And now, without further ado, and I go, drum roll, please, Dr. Annie Ullrich. Welcome back. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm excited it's November and we get you back for another month.
Yeah, I know. It's always fun to be with you, and it's always fun to be with your listeners because they're fascinating, just like
they are.
you.
Well, I think my listeners are a whole lot more fascinating than I am most of the time, so it's always fun to hear what kind of questions they've got coming in, and we've got them all lined up tonight. But before we do that, you've got your, what we call your monthly energy update that I think is really just a crowd favorite whenever you come on the line. So do you want to tell us what's going to be happening this month?
Yeah, I love November. November is a great month. It's full of really interesting aspects and very interesting energy. And you probably, if you look back over the years in your own life, you can see where November has always been an intense month. And of course, we're in Scorpio, so Scorpios have a tendency to be a little intense. And I love their creativity. They are just absolutely amazingly creative people. And they are the best of the best and sometimes the worst. So you can go from one extreme to the other in a Scorpio energy. But it's also a really good month for you. And, of course, this is interesting, too, to me. We have, of course, Thanksgiving here coming up in November. And November 1st is the beginning of what we call the Ancestors Month. And we honor the ancestors in the pagan religions primarily. And in all tribal religions, actually, indigenous peoples do this. And as we are so close to the Mexican border here in California, the Day of the Dead is also very, very, very prominent in our culture in this area. So it's always wonderful to me to see that, to see how these wonderful altars are set up in cemeteries. On October 31st and November 1st is usually, actually it goes into November 2nd too. So what you have is All Hallows, which is the 31st, or Samhain, and then you have the 1st, which is All Souls Day, and then All Saints Day follows that in Christian or Catholic, traditions. But we are not taught here how to revere the dead in a celebratory way. And when you see the Day of the Dead being celebrated, it's really fantastic because it is so much fun. There's joy there, and there's happiness, and you celebrate the ancestors. So with food and drink and just a great deal of lightness surrounds people who are celebrating this. And I do know people who have altars themselves at home, just a little section of a shelf or a bookshelf. And they have a little set up where they honor the ancestors throughout the month of November, like a picture of grandparents or parents or dogs or animals that you've lost, friends that you've lost, anything like that, and lighting a white candle with that. You just remember them, and every time you pass that little altar, you see and you remember. There's this remembrance is what's so important, and gratitude and fond, happy memories. So I encourage people to do that all the time. And on our celebrations here, we do honor the ancestors at this time of the year, which is really terrific. We have a Scorpio new moon on the 11th. So here 1111. That's a very powerful number. 22, 33. 11th month is a master number. It's what we call a master number in numerology. And what that means is that you have the power to master whatever you put your mind to. And so in this month, it's really important for you to concentrate on what it is that you have been trying to accomplish all year, because you're in the 11th month, which leaves us one more month to go. And so in the 11th month, what happens normally is that people start to wrap things up. And so you're kind of pulling energy towards you in order to accomplish things that you have been, let's say, putting off and not getting to, or just putting on the back burner. Well, this is the month that you kind of pull it all forward and you start to actually accomplish things and get rid of things that you don't need any longer. It's a great month to, let's say, on a very mundane level, to have a garage sale, because that's one way of actually putting that energy out into the universe to release what's no longer working and you just don't have any need for. So, or give it away. Give it away. There's also another in American Indian tradition, they have what they call a giveaway ceremony. And people bring really beautiful things to the giveaway ceremonies. And the groups that I have celebrated with, we've done this, and we've had it again in November, because it's about abundance and sharing and gratefulness. Again, Thanksgiving. So it's, give things away that you're no longer using, but still have great value in a giveaway ceremony. It's not getting rid of junk. It's passing on the good. And so that's a wonderful way of looking at it, so that you can, not only release things that you no longer need, but you give it joyfully from a heart, from a full heart. And that's always the best way to do it, of course. We have a Gemini full moon on the 25th. So November the 25th, we have another big full moon, and the full moon is always great. At the new moon, you're encouraged to set things into motion, and so that's time that you kind of plant new seed thoughts, kind of put things out there into the ethers. And usually, if you're very focused and dedicated in doing this kind of work, it comes full circle by the full moon. So it's a really good time. Now we have the longer days and darker nights, because we're slowly, going towards the winter solstice. So at night, these colder nights are great for reading, for introspection. And so that's what you're being asked to do, is to go inside. And, of course, Scorpio needs to do that. And so we're in a Scorpio month. You go within, and start to ask questions. What do I want to accomplish by the end of the year? And how have I done so far? Am I happy in this? Just ask yourself those questions and do some inner work. So writing is a really good way to be in tune with the energy of the month. Keeping a journal is always terrific. And doing meditation. Taking time for yourself and quiet time for yourself, I think, is really, really important. So we've got a lot of really nice energy that is available to us. And also, one of the things that is really good, too, in the 11th month here is negotiations and getting your needs met by negotiating and really listening to what others are saying and what they are wanting to achieve, and working together in a partnership instead of, being a complete solo entity in your life, because, all of us need as many friends and as many partners as we can pull in to help us achieve the things that we really want to do. So balance is very important in November, too. So anyway, I think that kind of puts it gives you a lot to go on. And if anyone wants the cycle chart that I offer every month, please just send me an email, and it's on, I think it's on the little blurb.
It is. Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah.
And this is probably a great time. And I have a question before we get to that, because I want to talk about your life energy cycle chart also. But you'd mentioned that around the 25th we're going to have another full moon, and this is a great time to plant seeds and all of that fun stuff that you were talking about. How does that correlate to the fact that we're going to have Thanksgiving the next day? I know that has no bearing on probably anything other than the fact that it just kind of by dumb luck fell into that's how it fell on the calendar this year. But how does that new full moon help or hinder us with that holiday?
Oh, I think I think we're leading up to better communications is really what it's all about, because Gemini actually brings in communications and how are you communicating with everyone. And it's a really bright energy, and it amplifies whatever it is that's going on in your life at that particular point. It will amplify it. So if you're with people that you really enjoy, try and do that for yourself if you can. And because families have a tendency to gather during that time, it's like really communicate with people and listen to what they're saying and just really be open. And having your heart open at this time is really very important. And so it kind of take a look at where you're going to be, who you're going to be with, and prepare for that. Because there are those in our lives that we don't necessarily, get along with well all the time. But, for that period of time, you can just achieve a really balanced communication with people. So it does bring in that. It brings in the ability to communicate with a full heart, which is really important. It is definitely a good, solid time, because things come full circle at the full moon. So it's really good. The best advice I think that anyone gives, and I'm sure everyone knows it, because I can remember my grandmother telling me this over and over again. It may be best to eat dinner without politics on the table. And I can remember that. So, yeah, it's all of those, just warm and positive energies that you want to bring to a Thanksgiving table. Definitely.
Well, I like that, and I think especially with the election year coming up, now would be a great time to not have that be part of a conversation, for like an hour, especially around family that you only see every, once a year or a few times a year. So, great advice.
Yeah, it's really, really true. It's like I think the best thing to do is to when you are in that situation, I always have a tendency to have people tell me what is going on in their lives. And once you get people telling you what's going on in their lives, then they're too busy to judge what you're doing. And
I love
you listen.
that. Yeah.
You just listen. That's the best way to do it, I think. I love to get people talking about themselves because people love to talk about themselves.
That's the most fascinating topic, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? It is all about them.
But honestly, between you and me and all the millions of people who are listening tonight, but that's why I love to do this show, is because I love to have people tell me about themselves, and you get them on the program, and it's like, okay, it's your time to shine. You got an hour. Let's talk all about you, and people I'll have guests that are like, oh, I can't be on for any longer than 10 minutes. I just don't know what to say. I said, you won't have to. I'm just going to ask you questions like we're sitting down for coffee or lunch or something like that. And then 100% of the time, Dr. Annie, they'll email me or call me after the show and go like, that was so much fun. I never knew, we could have an hour show. And like, well, I did. And they just think it's the best thing ever, and all we did was talk about them. So that's why I love doing this 5 nights a week. Anyway, so real quick, before we start taking calls, we've got, again, everybody who's been call screened, we are going to get to you tonight, so hang tight. You, Dr. Annie, have this fantastic life energy cycle chart. You were kind enough to give this to me over 2 years ago when we first had our first meeting together, and I still reference this. I have it on my Outlook calendar, so I know when my 52-day cycles are up and which cycle I'm in, and whenever I see that coming up or a new cycle's going to be coming up, I pull it out and I read what's going on for that particular 52-day cycle, and I have those things that I refresh in my memory on a regular basis, so I know, okay, this is going to be the cycle where I want to do this or that or the other thing. But for anybody who is new to the show tonight or listening for, maybe you haven't heard Dr. Annie or it's been a hot minute, what is this life energy cycle chart that you'd mentioned before, and why do people want to email you at tleaves@yahoo.com after the show? By the way, the email's right there on the show page, folks. You just got to copy and paste it. But why do people want to email you after the show to get this free life energy cycle chart?
Well, the life energy cycle chart is a wonderful tool to use to help you during your year. Most people are familiar with the 7-year cycle. We all know that every 7 years, definitely there are big, huge changes or shifts in one's life over a 7-year period. And the easiest thing to do is just look at the difference between a 7-year-old and a 14-year-old, and then the 14 and a 21-year-old, and so on and so forth. So every cycle of time and energy has its own attributes, both positive and negative. And so what you want to be is in tune with where you are at any given point during the year. And most people, as I said, are familiar with the 7-year cycle, but most people do not know that you go through 7 cycles of time and energy in 1 year, starting on your birthday, because your birthday is your personal new year. That's when things start for you. The global year, of course, is the 1st, January, but your year starts on your birthday. And every 52 days, there's a shift. And so for 7 cycles of time and energy, each cycle has its own, as I said, attributes and benefits and things that you need to know, like when's the best time to deal with lawyers or the judicial system? When's the best time to sell real estate or buy real estate? When's the best time to start a new job? When's the best time to take a vacation? All of these things that come up in your life on a yearly basis have answers to them in the cycle chart. And it can tell you when you start to use a cycle chart, what happens is that things start to flow easy for you, smoothly. and it answers the questions that you have throughout the year. The high points are the first 52 days. The first 52 days of your personal year is when you are at your best. You are charismatic. People will actually listen to what you have to say. That's the best time for you to start anything. It's the best time to put yourself out there into the world. And then let's say the most creative time is your third cycle. And that's when you're at a creative peak. So that's the best time to dream up wonderful ideas or start new projects that have creativity connected to them. It's a wonderful time for communication. It's a great time to have a party. So there are different times. In the seventh cycle, let's say the seventh cycle is the last 52 days right before your birthday, and that's when you are winding down and you are wrapping up your personal year. And so the most common things that you hear, or I hear, during a seventh cycle, anyone who is in the seventh cycle, is that I'm feeling a little down. Maybe I just don't have the energy anymore. I feel blue. And it has nothing to do with the aging process. It has to do with the cycle of energy. And what it is that you're just winding down. So this is the best time of your year to just relax and to get to pamper yourself and to just really enjoy who you are and wrap up your year. So it's got a lot of terrific information. It's been used for centuries and centuries. One of the things that I remember on one of the first shows that we did together, Garrett, is that I recommended a book, and the book is called The Wisdom of the Mystic Masters. And the last name of the author is Weed, W-E-E-D. And this gentleman he's no longer with us, but he was wonderful. He was a wonderful spiritual guide and a Rosicrucian, and he is the one that turned me on to the cyclical information. So the book is terrific. So it gives you a lot of really good information. It explains a little bit more about the cycles too. So it's good reading. I highly recommend it.
Well, right on. So everybody who's listening, you want to email Dr. Annie for her life energy cycle chart at tleaves@yahoo.com. The email is on the show page. Just copy and paste it. Now, also, I will tell everybody that, again, this for a call-in show, you get a chance to talk to Dr. Annie for a couple of minutes tonight, and that's all great. But if you get to a point during the show and you say, I want to have my own appointment with her myself, and I don't want to share her with everybody else, you can do that if you email her at the tleaves@yahoo.com. I've also got a link on the show page for Dr. Annie's website. It just says, visit Dr. Annie's website by clicking here. That's how hard we make it. You click it and you go right there. You can fill out your information and contact her for a private reading, either in her office in Southern California or by telephone or Skype. You can do that as well. I encourage you to do that. I actually go in and see Dr. Annie about once or twice a year and just say, I need to find out what's happening next, or what's going on in my crazy world. I need some clarification, and she provides that to me, and it's a great value for the service. So I encourage you to do that. Dr. Annie, we've chatted for half the show. It's about time we take some calls. We got 6 callers tonight. So. And so we're going to do this. And for the birthday girl, Miss Kimberly was born November 5th, 1970. You are now live with Dr. Annie. Go ahead, please, my dear. Thanks for waiting.
Hi, how are you?
Hi there. I'm fine. How are you, Kim?
I'm great.
Happy birthday coming up.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. How can I help you?
Yeah, I'm I just want to say that I'm a little frustrated in the career that I'm in right now, and I'm ready for a change, and I just need a little insight.
Wow. Well, that's good. You know, you're definitely going into a year ahead in 2016. You are in a changing year, and it'll be full of changes for you. And that's something that you are obviously, looking forward to. You're desirous of change. So that is really, really good. I definitely think that next year for you, and it started already. I mean, you've already been going through the questioning period where you're asking, why am I here? What am I doing? What is this all about? And what's next? And oh my God. So you've had all of that going on already. And you are starting to move towards a whole new cycle of time and energy and a new life, which is really terrific and very, very exciting. So one of the things that I can highly recommend you do is to make sure during this time that you have a spiritual connection of some kind. So what that means is just taking, if you aren't a religious person, that doesn't have anything to do with it. It has to do with how are you feeding your soul. And so taking a walk down, along the beach or sitting under a tree or going to the mountains, getting away and take some time for yourself. Just if it's just a few hours, it doesn't matter. Taking time to feed your soul, and that will help you make the decisions that are coming up for you. I definitely feel that there are 2 to 3 different opportunities that are going to come up for you in the next 3 months. And you need to trust your gut instincts in order to make the right decisions for yourself. So it's a really good time for you, and it's a good spiritual year for you too. So anything that you can do to feed that soul of yours is exactly what you should be doing. Yeah. Have you been thinking about taking a class, learning something different?
Yes.
Yeah. That would be also very beneficial. Whatever it is, whatever learning position you put yourself in will definitely bring you money. So it's something to think about.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kimberly, for your call. Have a great night.
Yep.
And our next call is coming from first-time caller Georgette, and Georgette is born July 17th, 58. Georgette, you are live with Dr. Annie. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, Dr. Annie.
How are you?
Good, good, good. Yes, I would love to get a read on, what's coming up for me, where am I in my cycle, and I'm actually looking forward to a new relationship that's going to be a match for me.
Well, this has been a very good year for you to do things differently. It's all about expansion, expanding your thoughts, expanding your ideas, doing things differently, doing the opposite, actually, of what you would normally do. And so if you can continue to do that for the next couple of months, what you're bringing into your experience energetically next year is romance. So it's nice that you're open and receptive to that, because it's definitely a more romantic year for you. You will probably meet someone in the first 3 months of 2016, and you will be actually a good fit. And it's going to feel as if you are more balanced in this relationship than in others. And so it's very, very nice. So it's like you are meeting a partner, and it's you're not collapsed into that relationship, which is important too.
Very.
So also adventure and travel are around you. So if you get the chance to travel, take advantage of it. And it may be like unexpected invitations come your way to go places that you wouldn't normally go to. So do take advantage of all the social invitations that come your way, because it's a great, great time to do that. Next year, you're going to be very busy socially. Lots of socializing, social invitations. Also, reunions with people that you haven't seen for a long time. So there might be family reunions or weddings, anniversaries, those kinds of things that it will be coming up. You're going to be much more active next year than you have been this year. So that's exciting.
Yes, that's great news.
Yeah. So it's
because I feel like I've been a bit of a hermit. Yeah.
It is. It's time to move out into the world now. So it's a good time for you to take advantage of all of the opportunities to do that. So even though you didn't want to, now you're going to want to. So that's going to be nice. You're also in a healing vibration. You've got a lot of healing energy around you. And it's not only physical healing, but it's also emotional and mental. And it's also has to do with family and relationships. So healing in your relationships. And when you are in that kind of energy, it's all about looking at the way you are relating to your world and deciding what you want to keep and what you want to get rid of. Sometimes it's hard, but it's worth taking the time and looking at it too. So you've got a really good year coming up, so that's great.
Yeah, that is great. Now, this holiday season, did you say that I will be receiving invitations from this point, or is it next year it starts?
Actually, it should be starting already. Yeah.
Okay.
So social invitations, any kind of social invitations that come your way, you take advantage of them, because it will lead you in new directions, and it, of course, brings in new influences and new people.
Yes.
And that's what you need, is new.
Right. I'm ready.
Good.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Way to go, Georgette.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Thanks for your call.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Georgette. And our next call, Dr. Annie, is coming from D, and D is born August 30th, 1961. D, you're live with Dr. Annie. Go ahead, please.
Hello, Dr. Annie.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Okay. My question for you is, will I have the opportunity to leave this area? It's very closed off. I've been here for 11 years. Socially, there's nothing going on. It's very hard on me and my daughter. And I want to know if I'm going to have an opportunity to move somewhere where we can meet people, because it's very closed off here to anyone new.
Yeah. In the new year, you're definitely going in. You are completing, this year, 2015, for you, energetically speaking, was all about completion, coming to the end of a cycle of time and energy, and we're talking about a 9-year cycle. So you say that you've been there for 11 years. Well, it's time to make a change. There's no doubt about that.
I know.
So
I need the opportunity, though.
Going into the new year in 2016, it's all about you and what you need. And so it's taking the focus off all the others in the world and putting it on yourself and asking yourself, what do I want? How do I feel? How do I think? It's really going within and becoming an independent person, an independent, you're going through what we would call a self-identification energy, where you are looking at yourself separate from everybody else in your life, like, family members or significant others or people you work with or any of that. It's like really looking at yourself as an individual for the first time in a very, very long time, actually, because you've been other-oriented and taking care of everyone else. So now is the time, and do it now in November. Start focusing on you and really doing things that are going to make you feel better about yourself, whether that is getting a massage or, changing your hair color or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It's you coming into your own vibration, into your own soul self. And it's a very exciting time. And I can tell you this for sure. In January, if you start telling people and the universe out there what you want, how you think, how you feel, what's going on with you, and the direction you want to go in, it will happen. And the reason is because you are in a very powerful, strong vibration the whole year. So people will actually listen to what you have to say. And that doesn't happen very often. So take advantage of it. You're going into an extremely powerful time. And I'm getting God bumps all over me. So it's really strong. It's a good year. So you need to just, get rid of what's not working for you. And that means people, places, and things. Not only that, but it also means, old ways of thinking, of your conditioning, your belief system, all of that. You're just tearing everything apart inside, which is good. And it doesn't feel good, but it is. But, you're going into a whole different energy next year. So congratulations.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve, for your call. Have a great night.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
There we go. And Dr. Annie, our next call is coming from Camilla. And Camilla was born March 5th, 1980. Camilla, you are live with Dr. Annie. Go ahead, please.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
There. Hi,
Hello.
Camilla. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How can I help you?
I'm curious about the cycle that I'm in and what's coming up for me.
You have been in a questioning cycle. We've been asking a lot of questions about everything. So, again, it's like, why am I here? What am I doing? What is this all about? Do I care? I mean, it's everything. So, with that, you're going into, that's what this year has been about for you, but next year you're going into a very powerful year, and it's all going to be money, power, and authority. It's also going to be balanced, much more balanced than you've had in a long time. There's more flow in your life, so things are going to start flowing for you instead of a lot of stop-start energy. It's more flowing, which will be very nice. And it brings in the opportunity to bring in new friends and new relationships. So it's a very good time. It's a good year next year. This year has been rough for you emotionally. So there's a lot of ups and downs and stops and starts and energy going nowhere. So you're ending that. And so for the next couple of months, you really need to take some time out for yourself, if at all possible, and really start to enjoy the people around you right now, because there are new people coming into your life over the next 3 months, and they are going to bring in opportunity to you.
Oh, good.
So, things are definitely going to start changing.
Thank God.
What is it that you do creatively?
I'm an editor, a video editor, producer.
Okay.
For television and
you are very, very creative.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the desire to make a difference in your world. And so anything to do with communications is excellent for you. And that's, the written or the spoken word, anything where you are communicating with large amounts of people, it's really good for you. So there's some kind of expansion or advancement that's coming in there for you. And really trust your creative instincts, because they are really good, and that's exciting. That should, I think that's what's going to take precedence over the next year, and it's going to start making you money.
Yay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good.
That is awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care.
You too.
And our next caller, thanks, Camilla. I think my microphone was off for just a second there. I was trying to get back on. There we go. Okay, our next, because here's why I put myself on mute while you're talking to the callers. I don't want you to hear like the dogs barking or the rain outside or any of that other kind of stuff. I want them to have a good quality call experience, so I'm trying to be as quiet as possible here. Our next caller is Rose Maria, and Rose Maria is born December 31st, 1974. Rose Maria, you are live with Dr. Annie. Go ahead, please.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. I guess energies like your other caller, the one before this one. But I know there's a lot of changes in energies. I know there's a few friends, or I know I'm drifting away from. Is that I'm going the right way with that?
Yeah, that happens. You have been you've been actually looking at the way that you're relating with people. And you're looking at all of your relationships. You're in a relationship energy field right now. So it's you looking at the way that you relate to your world, and that brings everybody into the mix, people that you live with, play with, work with, friends, family, everybody. And what you're doing is kind of looking at how you are relating to these people in your life and whether or not you like it. And it's time to kind of, release people that are no longer supportive of who you are. And when you start growing and you are in a growth cycle, then people that are not in harmony with that, and they fall away. So anytime that you go through shifts and changes in your own life, you're going to see that, some people are just not going to be there anymore. And that's okay, because they don't need to be anymore. You're bringing in new influences and new people into your life, and that starts in the new year for you. And you're also going into a time where you're really taking care of yourself, taking care of your needs. And so it's an excellent time for you to do any kind of, self-improvement or physical therapy or mental therapy or spiritual therapy, whatever that is. It's you taking care of yourself. And all changes happen on the inside first. And then they're reflected in your life outside. So you've been going through a lot of inner changes, and you're going to continue to do that, and then you're going into a very successful time of your life. Next year is very successful for you personally, So that's really nice. It's nice. It's really good, solid energy. Whereas it's been a little rocky here and there.
Right.
For you. Yeah. So you're just, you have the ability to get the work done when you put your mind to it. And the challenge has been making up your mind. So you're very, very good at whatever you focus your energy on. And so just remember that, and you know that. And you're a hard worker, and you know what hard work is all about. So, you do know how to do this. And that's good. You're also creative. You are creative. So using your creative talents is very important because that gives you a solid base. It'll help you to create a solid base, too.
Cool.
So that's very good. How are you in a love relationship?
That's what I've been working on. Like you hit on the right spot, like working hard toward that with a certain person. So I'm just, I guess, like you said, towards the end of the year, beginning of the new year, hopefully soon.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think so. I definitely feel like there is a love relationship that's expanding and growing. So that's good. That's really, really good. You're on the right track.
Cool. Appreciate it.
You're
I like
welcome.
to strangle him at times, but cool. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Rose Maria. Have a great night and the best to you this holiday season. We've got two more callers left tonight. We've got Anne, whose birthday is August 30th, 1973. Anne, you are now live with Dr. Annie. Go ahead.
Hi, Dr. Annie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for taking my call. My question for you is this. I just bumped into someone who I met years ago, and I just wanted to know, is there a connection? I mean, whenever we see each other, the connection is there, and I don't know, like I feel like maybe I should pursue this, but I'm not sure, and I'm a Virgo, he's a Leo, and I don't know, could I give you his name or?
Oh, no.
Okay. That's why I asked.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, boy. This is a good one. Well, Anne, let me tell you. You are in a really strong position right now to get whatever you want. So, the question is, what is stopping you from pursuing it? Because you're in the position of power at this particular point. So that's really interesting. And you have nothing to lose. Take it as far as you want it to go. Be assertive. There's like this energy around you that says, go for it. Whatever it is that you want, just go for it. Because you are vibrating at a very high level by energetically, and that brings in a lot of personal charisma. So there's this essence that you have that is just pulsating and shining out there, and you're like a beacon. You're like this light that you want to bring in, and what happens when you have that working for you, which you do right now, which is awesome, then you start attracting in the people that you want in your life. So, yeah, there's nothing holding you back here. So if you do want that, but it sounds to me as if you're actually questioning that. And so, yeah, just
I am.
It hasn't happened before, right?
Exactly, and the person I was involved with, I mean, it was just so much energy that, like, I'm finally starting to breathe. I understand with Jupiter being in Virgo now, but it's like I was underwater. I felt like I was underwater for like 3.5 years plus. So that's why I'm like, do I want to try to patch what I'm, with the person that I was with, or see what happens with this person? Because I'm very interested. Every time I see him, I'm so elated and excited, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't stop thinking about it. I haven't felt this way about a man in a long time.
Well, I think that's your answer right there. It's like whatever it is, whatever is new is what you want to go for. It's because everything in 2016 for you is all about newness. New ways of being in the world, new people in your life, new relationships, new everything. If it's new, do it. You don't want to go backwards. So,
no, I don't want to go backwards. I just don't know how he would respond. That's why I'm a little,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Really?
I know that sounds, it doesn't matter. No, because you just move toward that which you want. And you do it with an open heart and a big smile on your face and just watch things happen. It's awesome. You're in a good place, so do it.
Thank you.
And we're going to need an update next month, so make sure to call back, okay?
Oh, my goodness. I will. Thank you. I'm going to hold on. Thank you so much.
Good.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
Somebody's going to have a nice holiday, it sounds like. And our last call of the night comes from Ashiel, and Ashiel is born August 2nd, 1969. Welcome to the show. You are now live with Dr. Annie. Thank you for waiting.
Hi, Dr. Annie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? How can I help you?
I'm in a standstill right now in terms of my career and my love life. So I'm just trying to see if the energies are about to change.
Oh, hey, okay. So this year for you is a completion year. So you are completing a cycle of destiny right now. The next 2 months that's the end. So that's good because in 2016 you get to start things all over, and you get to start things in the way that you want them to go. And it's a very, very powerful year for you. You will have personal power and things that are new coming in and new opportunities that will be presented to you. As far as a romance is concerned, romance for you improves tremendously in August of next year. So I know that sounds like a long way, but it's not really. You've got really strong romantic energy coming in at that point, and it will be a very solid relationship and growing and really expanding. So that'll be wonderful, and you'll feel really, really good about it. You need to concentrate on yourself first. And so it is you taking time to do things that you really want to do personally from now until June of next year. It's like a 6-7 month period here where you are actually starting to do new things, and you have new opportunities that are coming your way. So, you've got you need to put out there into the world what you think, how you feel, what's going on with you, and be really strong, because you've got the power to do it.
Okay.
And so just go for whatever it is that you really want to do. Okay?
Okay. But you see me dating at least before that? I know you said about relationship, but would I be at least dating before August?
Oh, you're going to be dating, yeah. I think you'll be dating before then, but I think a long-lasting love relationship comes into you in the summer months, and it's usually around, August. It feels very much like August. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it sounds good. I look forward to that. Yeah.
Thank you for your call. I appreciate you calling in tonight.
Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It's been a whirlwind hour, and now we're out of time. Do you have any last closing secret comments or words of wisdom that you'd like to share with people before we end the program?
Just, be really, really grateful for everything that you have in your life right now, because it's only going to get better.
There we go. Everybody, I'm grateful for Dr. Annie, and we will see her. Dr. Annie, do we have you back? We have you back next month for the last. Let me remind everybody. Okay, it's going to be on Monday, December 7th. Dr. Annie will be back. But for everybody who called in tonight and didn't want to press that number 1 button, make sure to email her at tleaves@yahoo.com. Again, just copy her email. It's on the show page. Ask for the free Life Energy Cycle Chart, and also schedule your private session with Dr. Annie for a great consultation that you will love. With that, everybody, we'll see you tomorrow night with author Ara Grigorian with his book, Game of Love. I'm reading it tonight. It is really good. You will want to stay tuned tomorrow, live at 7 o'clock.
You've been listening to Rated G Radio.